we speak about the myth of Book of Barnabas. Myth of Book of Barnabas is the book I was talking about, and already I leave copy in the back. You can take one when we finish. This book, the Muslims are very happy with this book. But if you read this book and they read this book, not anyone can believe in this book. Because this book, like a story, a kid writes a small story to make. This person wrote the books. He was firstly Jewish, and after he converted to be a Catholic, and after he converted to be a Muslim. So he started to mix the three religions together, and I think in the end he has no religion, because what he talked about the Islam or Christian or Jewish was confusing to everyone. So we go step by step why the writer he chose the name of Barnabas. And who's Saint Barnabas in the beginning? Saint Barnabas, we hear about him on the book of Acts. We hear about him from Eusebius in the history of the church. We hear about him about Saint Clement, the Alexander, when he wrote about him. He was a person very famous in the Bible. He was, some people they said he's the uncle of St. Mark, the one he founder of our church. And he martyred in 21st of Kiyah, 61. His tomb, they make it as a church, and one we have to mention when he martyred 61, that means these books, they found it in 14th century. That means different time. He was a very good man. In book of Acts, chapter 4, he said he got a farm, he sold it, and all this money they give it to the disciple. Another point about him, they said he was a very nice preacher. He was preaching in Antioch, and he's the first country we call them as a Christian after his service and the preaching. So why he chose Barnabas to call his book? Because it was an argue between St. Paul and St. Barnabas about St. Mark. They want him in his journey or not. So this argue, the writer, he took it and called his book for St. Barnabas for this argue, to misleading people or something. Who is the writer? His name Fra Marino. Fra, that means a French word, Italian word like a brother, like friar. He was a Jewish, like I said, and he converted to Catholic, and after he be a Muslim. And when he be a Muslim, he lived in Spain, and they call his name Mustafa al-Arandi. When did they found this book, or how they found it? The story how they found the books was a very funny story. He said he visited the Pope of Catholic in 1558. Pope, his name is Scott. He visited him in his library. He said when he visited the Pope suddenly sleep. So this monk who was going around the library, he found one book with this book of Barnabas. He took it and he went to read. And when he read this book, he found the Pope start to wake up. He put the book in his clothes and his cape. And after he read these books, he converted to Islam. So, like movie or something, you not believe about something like how he discovered. Why all the scholars and the people, they talk about these books not gonna be written after 14th century? Because these books, they found it in 18th century. They said the type of paper they use in the books was discovered after 14th century. The type of ink, the type of the word and language they use, first time they found it's written by Italian language. Italian language was after Dante Alighieri, because in early stage they were speaking in Latin and writing in Latin. But Dante Alighieri, the first one, he done this and was about maybe 14th century. He used some of the measure of weight. This measure of weight, they can't find it before 14th century. So all this stuff, they said it's talking about the 14th century and after. Some of the words in his book, very embarrassed to talk about, like swearing a lot, but I tell you 2-3 stories to see how these people think. Number one, they said how God creates the human. They said God, he bring a dust, big dust, and he kept it for about 60,000 years. 60,000 years. And because the devil, out of the dust, God, he creates human, so the devil spits on the dust. So when the angel, God is spitting the dust, so the angel takes this dust off. When the angel takes the dust off, was the belly button of the human. So that's what he think about how God creates the human. And how the devil, God, he can create, that means devil, he knows the future and do not believe in this. And the belly button, we know Adam and Eve without belly button. Belly button, that's from someone born. To show you what he was talking about. And how he creating the dogs, he said because the horse starting, he knows this dust can be human, the horse started stepping this dust. So God, he took this spit of the devil and they make out of the spit of this the dogs. That's why the dogs are unclean. So the dogs start to bark, scare the horse run. A lot of stuff, you see how he's talking about. Another story he said Solomon the king, one day he decided to invite all the God creation in dinner. So he make a big table and invite everyone, and what happened after this? A big fish come and eat all the food. That's in his book. And when the fish come eat all the food, they found no food left to Solomon and his people. He can't believe all his right. Another point very interesting too. He said, because he was a monk, he said, every knit in your hair, because I don't think he can have shower or never have shower. He said, if you have knits in your hair, when you go to heaven, this knit can be like diamond. So all this talking about, it's very embarrassing, some words very swear and some stuff like this. He said the angel will die. The angel not going to stay forever. The angel will die. He said, we found 28,000 gods in Rome. You never found all this amount in Rome. He said, the heaven is 9 stages. No religion says the heaven 9 stages. Christians believe in 4. Muslims, they believe in 7. I don't know from where he gets the 9. And he said between each stage of heaven, about 500 years travel. That means from first heaven to last heaven, 4,500 years to travel, and if it's huge like this, that means the heaven is not going to be in the earth or heaven or one of these. All talking, it's not worth it to talk about. Okay, the important point why the Muslim happy with these books. Okay, number one, because they said God, when he died on the cross, Jesus Christ didn't die on the cross. Judas the Iscariot died instead of Jesus, and God, he changed his face. And they said in this book, Judas said, I'm not a Christ, they put me, forced me to put, and all the stuff. That's what the Muslim believe, like, in their Quran, Jesus didn't die on the cross, one of their beliefs. Another point, they said, when God created Adam and Eve, when God created Adam, he found big sign on the paradise, La ilaha illallah Muhammad misharif eh. That's it. So they said Adam nafsu come Muslim. And the Islam come about 700 years after Jesus come. We're not talking about Adam creation. Another one they talk about, they said Abraham, when offer the sacrifice, we believe Isaac, they said not Isaac, Ismail, and one of their beliefs. Another point about the belief too in this book, they're very happy in this book because our Bible, he prophesy about Muhammad and a lot of stuff. Believe. If they read this book, I wrote about this book, in the end he will say Muhammad is a big crazy person, but they didn't read this book. Muammar al-Qaddafi, the one president of Libya, they tried to get rid of him until now they can't. He come in one of his speech, he said the Christian not going to have peace unless they follow this Bible, the book of Barnabas. And he's as a leader of country to announce something like this, that means he didn't read it even. He had no idea. Because these books swearing a lot about their prophet. But they didn't read. They just like parrots copy each other. Talk about each other. Talk about this. So this one of the books, Harris's book, or Apocrypha book, or Myth book, you found they're very happy about this book. But if you ask any of them, did you read it? You found definitely no, because if he read it, he's not going to say, I believe in this book. Because in the end of my book, I write for them honestly, if you're happy to have this as your book, good luck, but we're not going to believe it as our Bible at all. Just a conclusion, this book's 220 chapters. We never have in our Bible a book has 222 chapters. our books, all New Testament, it's maybe half of this, all the New Testament. Because the biggest book we have in our Bible, book of Isaiah 66. This book's 222, and a lot of stuff. They said, end of the day, the sun will cry blood, and the plant will cry blood. I don't know how. And they said the sun will cry, and scream like she lost her child. How the sun can cry? A lot of stuff. It's nice to tell someone a story before he sleeps, yes, but we're not going to use it as a Bible. Any question? I got a book's copy in the back if you want. It's in Arabic, and I put in my website. If you want a copy, just have copy. And thank you, and pray for me.